So let's switch gears for a second because I want to talk to you about bullshit.
Sure.
It's absolutely
We should
amazing.
also say, because this is important, we should also say that when we do Apostacon, this is not a Vegas Penn and Teller show. It's not a Broadway Penn and Teller show. In the presence of completely friendly fire, Teller and I take down our guards and really talk to people. So this will be a Q&A where Teller is talking. Teller, who is silent on stage and silent on TV, has felt that it's worth it to talk to the Apostacon people.
So on this show, on Dogma Debate, we tend to intentionally, whenever we have Christians on the show, we extend the olive branch. We're very nice. We try not to offend people, and we find that gets us a long way because when we talk to them and we get them to listen to themselves speak, it really helps them to start trying to put together what they believe, and you kind of watch that cognitive dissonance happen, or you kind of watch that struggle. Talk a little bit about your pitch for bullshit, because when we were talking earlier, which wasn't a part of this segment, I learned something about the I guess the benefits and value of actually being offensive and the proper way to do that. So talk about pitching bullshit and what you learned from the lawyers.
Al Goldstein is an American hero. Al Goldstein went to the Supreme Court for your freedom of speech in Topeka versus Goldstein. He's a pornographer out of New York. He's now dead. In the later years of his life, I took care of him because he had done so much for our country. He founded Screw Magazine, and he was a really, really contentious, argumentative asshole. Not liked by many people. I loved him. And he was involved in a lot of lawsuits. Now, my advice to you as a friend, any lawsuit that you are going to get involved in, settle it. Don't have idealism. Maybe you can be idealistic and vote your conscience instead of Hillary. But in the courtroom, do not be idealistic. That was, one of Lenny Bruce's big mistakes. Okay. But there are some among us, Larry Flint, Lenny Bruce, absolutely, Al Goldstein, who are willing to go all the way and fight for something they see as right. Al Goldstein did that, and I felt we owed him a lot. But Al Goldstein was suing and getting sued all the time. It was his hobby. And Al told me very early on that when you're dealing with someone who might be litigious, use obscenity.
Use obscenity on purpose.
Because if I call you, if I say David Smalley is an habitual liar, and you are also someone who is litigious, if you got those two things, you can take me to court. You can go on the stand and say, here are times I didn't lie. You said I'm a liar habitually. Prove it.
That's definition.
And you can take me down. Yeah. If I call you a fraud, a quack, a hustler, you will take me down. But if I call you if I say simply, very clearly, David Smalley is a motherfucking bullshitting sack of shit, you have a lot of trouble going to court with that. So when I first pitched bullshit to Showtime, I said if we call these people liars, we could get busted. If we call them bullshitters, it's harder. Now, you can be sued by anyone for anything.
Sure.
I am not giving legal advice, and it won't always work. But our lawyers at Showtime absolutely loved it. So they would write in the margins, instead of saying this is not true, can you say this is motherfucking bullshit? Those were our legal notes we were getting. We were getting things crossed out. And we used a lot of techniques. We were doing the thing on chiropractors. It's very dangerous, and I will not say it now. But some have said, and it's not me, because I can't prove it.
Okay.
Some have said, not me, some have said that chiropractors are quacks. I'm not saying that.
That's not you. No, that's not you.
Some have said. I'm just saying we did the show on chiropractic. The lawyers went crazy over the script and said, what can we do? So I suggested, and we did, For the chiropractic show, I never, ever, ever use the word quack. And I will not use the word quack. What I did do was bring 50 ducks onto the set who stood in their feet, waddled around, and I don't know what they said about chiropractors. I don't know. They're ducks. What do they know? I mean, will some of those ducks be sued? I don't know. I don't even know the names on some of them. All I know is the little bastards were running around my feet, and they were saying what they were saying, and I was saying what I was saying. But I do want to say very clearly that Teller and I are talking about enjoying ourselves. We're head over heels excited about going to Apostacon and talking about it. I mean, the Flying Spaghetti Monster, what's going on with that and where that's gone and what that's doing to our culture is really, really important. You know, I tend to take my atheism too seriously. And the idea of a group of people getting together for this kind of celebration reminds me of my old Subgenius days. The Subgenius, also out of Texas, and all that came out of that. And the implications of the love of life and the dealing with atheism as a positive instead of a negative. It's a beautiful thing. And Teller and I have wanted to get there for a long time. And it turns out the only way we get to go anywhere is if we're booked there, because that's the only way we get a night to do something. So I'm thrilled about going there. And I'm thrilled about getting the kinds of questions we get. And I'm thrilled about Teller taking half of the talking ability. So please, come on down, see us. Are you going to be there, right?
I will be there. It's September 18th through the 20th. You can get tickets at apostacon.org. And if you use the promo code Dogma Debate, you get $10 off your purchase. We will actually Dogma Debate is doing a live broadcast right after you and Teller get off stage. So we're on the same stage with you immediately after to do a live radio broadcast. And it would be cool if you guys, after the VIP or whatever you guys are doing after, if you want to come back and do a segment with us, that would be awesome.
I wouldn't be surprised if I blow by, sir.
Passions igniting the resonant tone. Casualties disintegrate. Now we atone for the sadness, the colors we stole from the world's unknown.